Morning, it's Pastor Mike here in the study. I'm looking at the book of Ephesians chapter number 1, and just a few weeks ago I spoke out of Ephesians 1 on Father's Day Sunday. And when I did so, I spoke to both children and parents, and I want to just say a word on the issue of children. The Bible says, "Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right." And clearly this means for a child to come under the authority of, to listen to the teaching of a parent, and then to carry out the instruction given by that parent. And when we're talking about children, we're talking about someone who is old enough to respond. And by the way, we should not be giving commands that they are not old enough to carry out. They should be given commands that they can understand and follow through. It does no good to tell a baby to stop crying. They don't understand you. And that child is not being disobedient. That child doesn't understand. And we, of course, exercise patience and loving instruction and loving discipline as we teach our children to do this. But let me go just a step further and say there does come a time where those children become adults, and we as parents need to let them go. The very first time mom or dad or mother or father are mentioned in the Bible, it's preceded with the word leave. And the Bible tells us that a man will leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife. And the whole role of moms and dads in the home is to prepare our children to leave us, to walk out away from us and go off and duplicate what we have built in our home. And hopefully do a better job than we've done because they've learned from us. And so as we encourage our children to leave, let's make sure we're not then turning around and trying to exercise guilt and control upon our adult children. There is some kind of thinkings that go around Christianity that somehow or another an adult child is still bound to be obedient to a parent. And there's nothing less foolish or less biblical than that. An adult child who makes those decisions may choose to still live in a parent's home, and in doing so ought to be very gracious and very respectful, understanding the wonderful privilege they have of having a roof over their head. But that child is not under the authority of the parent. And that child should understand the responsibility they have of making their own decisions. And so let me challenge us as we walk into this to see the balance. Children, adults, see the difference there. And parents, we can teach our children, instruct our children to obey as children, and then hopefully earn their respect as adults, and then not forfeit the counsel and the advice that they might seek from us when they become adults, because we are too controlling or holding on to the authority that we have. Letting them go out and be the independent people that God intended them to be, without dependence upon us, but dependence upon God. Well, I hope this will be an encouragement to you. We'll talk to you next time in the study.